And a fine example of that are athletes, right? So there is a lot of people that are naturally gifted, lots
Yeah.
of, but those people still practice
Over and
many hours a day, right? Because they might be naturally gifted, so they're inclined to do okay. But in order to be Tiger Woods,
Oh, you have to practice all the time. You know what? And I'm one of those people. It's like I hadn't played volleyball in 25 years. And then I went to a class and immediately the guy that was coaching was like, you have to go to intermediate. Like you're not in beginner. Like I just have that natural
yeah,
hand-eye
and you're
coordination. I'm
tall.
strong, I'm tall, like I have all those attributes. But I mean, I haven't played since like October. I'm going to go back, but it's like I don't have, for whatever reason, that ability to just practice and practice and practice and practice. Like it's just not, and it never has been.
Yeah. Did you get a volleyball scholarship?
No,
Oh,
I was never good enough in any sport to get a scholarship. I had an
oh, okay.
academic.
No, you're just a smarty pants. That's what it is. But
I mean, I think I could have if I'd had, I went to a school that was economically, most of it was poor.
right.
Most of the coaches we had did not know how to play the sport. They were doing it just for extra money. I mean, we had a volleyball coach that was literally reading a book trying to figure out how to run plays and how to, I mean, we just didn't. I learned more honestly playing like a month here than I did in the 3 years I played, 5 years I played volleyball
Yeah.
in school.
And there is the fairness of life right there. But fortunately, you have a level head on your shoulders. You're able to do other things with your life, right? But there's a lot of kids, which is why I think I'm going to go back to, you're right, not every child should go to college. As a matter of fact, out of the two of us, only 50% of us have gone to college, right? And so, yeah, I definitely get that not every kid should go to college. And some kids should be gardeners. One, because that's what they like doing,
100%, a
makes them
hundred
happy.
percent, 100%. And I think colleges have become such a business. It's like, but on the flip side, I think for those that want to go to college, there should be opportunity.
I agree with you there. And that's where I'm hesitant to, and a lot of that is a lot of poor kids in poor neighborhoods do not even have that option.
No.
And all I would like to see is, so I say it's great that Harvard has this scholarship, this girls basketball scholarship that we're making up. By the way, this is a whole made up scenario that they might give to a transgender kid. That's great. But I want to see the 50 kids that actually do their homework and can read and write and just want to get a job here in my neighborhood go to that next level for them, whatever that might be. It may not be college. You're right. It may be trade school. Let's get them into trade school. Like, let's send them to plumbing school or electrical school or welding, because you can make a shit ton of money as a welder, coming to find out.
Mm-hmm.
I did not realize, but you can. So yeah, and I'm not saying just randomly hand that out. I mean, like, ask the kids, do you want to do this? Yes, we do. Okay, then do these 5 things. Write this essay, read this book, do this math homework, do these
Yeah.
5 things, and we can get you into this trade school. Why are we not like, let's focus on that?
I totally agree. I think that the sad part is, and this has been the case, and this is where I guess, life isn't fair, but that's where those scholarships made a big difference in giving people the mobility between classes is, college has always been that thing. And now I think that it's changed and it's still, for the most part, going to be poor kids that are going the route of not going to college and going into, but that's okay. Like, I think
Yeah.
we also have to get rid of this judgment of like how people make their money, or, you know, I mean, I think you had mentioned it a while ago, and I can't remember in what context, but it's like the value of people and how we value them. And like, you know, a lot of people put a lot of value on, say, Elon Musk, because he's so wealthy and he's quote unquote smart, but he's like a total piece of shit, clearly.
Yeah. I mean, I really have no business saying this. In all fairness, this is judgment, right? Here we are judging, by the way. But yeah, I don't know that, although he has created jobs, which is a good thing. Why are you? I mean, he has.
I mean, yeah, sure, it's a good thing, but
Well, yeah, I guess I'm just saying that, like, so if we value, like, the value of a person is he's created jobs like millions of other people have created jobs, right? I'm not saying he's done it better than anyone else. He has not. But I'm like, it's like my old employer, right? Like this balance of, he's a kind of an asshole, right? But he's doing good work.
right.
So I don't want to negate either of those two things. He's an asshole that's doing good work, right? And I just step back, right? Like I'm not in that foray.
Well, it doesn't have to be either or, right? It can be and. It's like he can create jobs and be a complete shit.
Yeah. And that's right. That's great. We just let that happen. And in the end, things will work themselves out. And as long as he's not attacking my cats or my friend Freedom, I'm good, right? Like, start to do bad things to the world and I'm gonna struggle. Now, I have to admit, launching rockets into space, I mean, I love the idea of space exploration, but I'm so afraid we're gonna fuck up space that I'm very hesitant to like support such a thing. I'm like, we can't even manage what we do here on this planet.
That's why they're looking. I'm sure they can clearly see that we're, you know, all the damage we've done to Earth. And
yes, I do not want to go fuck up another planet, right? Can we just leave the other planets alone? But
I just think it's insane. And this is where I just think he's a shit of a person. It's like, how many millions, and if not billions of dollars have been spent on SpaceX, and yet we have people starving all over the fucking country. Like, yeah. I have a huge problem with that.
I agree with you. Again,
the government supplemented it. Like, the government literally gave him money to supplement him for SpaceX.
Yeah. Which is a struggle in and of itself. For sure. Which is why when I say that life isn't fair, I'm not saying, life isn't fair, right? Mm-hmm. I'm saying, wow, life isn't fair. How do we help? That's for me. Like, my point of view is, even the homeless guy that doesn't push around, seriously at-risk homeless people are the ones that don't have the shopping carts full of shit they've collected. These are people that have no possession that they're worried about maintaining whatsoever. Those are very high risk, unhomed people. No, those are homeless people. Sorry. Very high risk, because their drug use is so out of hand, or their mental stability is so out of hand, that they don't even care to keep track of, a shopping cart full of things that could assist them, right? And we have a lot of those people here, and those are the people that nobody cares about. Like, I'm like, where is that guy eating? Let alone taking a shower, which I want him to have a meal. And if he needs his drugs in order to have a meal, I'm in. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Those are the things that don't bother me. Now, because I don't know that you can quote unquote save those people, but I don't know that I can just be like, well, fuck him, hope he dies. I don't think that's in me.
The horrible.
Yeah. I don't think that that's something that I mean, this is what I show. So I'm like, let's provide some sort of food for this person, whatever food works for that person, by the way, right? It's maybe it's not a sandwich. Literally, because he's got to do something else, or he's got mouth issues or whatever it might be. But so when I say life isn't fair, it's a good reminder for me, because I am constantly shouting, it's not fair. Yeah, no, it's not. It is not fair. You're right.
Yeah.
So what do we do about it? Like, how do we get around? And you can't make Elon Musk care. It's not a requirement.
No. No, of course not. And I just think it's where it's shitty is we reward it in a lot of ways, right? Like the way our system is set up to reward the incredibly wealthy, they're not incentivized to be better people. The way our stock market is set up, I mean, there are massive layoffs happening across tech. And one of the reasons is the stock price goes up after every time they do it.
Yeah. But that was true in media too. How many people I got laid off from Clear Channel, and I remember saying the reason I got laid off, me and 10,000 other people got laid off, was because our stock price went down. And the first question I asked is, well, so if the stock price goes back up, are we going to get rehired? No. So, but again, I mean, life isn't fair, right? So then I said, well, what am I gonna do next?
Well, that's like that woman. Oh, did you see the video that went viral? There was a CEO or president of a company. I think they did chairs. Like, what is it? Henry Miller has the chair.
Herman Miller,
right?
Office furniture.
Yeah, there was the CEO was basically like having this talk with everybody about I can't remember verbatim, but she basically was like, this is like, you can something about a pity party or like she really is just like laying into these people. And come to find out, she got like a $3 million bonus or even more. It was like a $5 million, 10 million, whatever it was. But she's literally, there was like a huge backlash because she was being such a dick and basically telling people like, yeah, too bad, so sad you're not getting bonuses. Yet she herself got one, or no raises, and yet she took one.
Right. And that's not fair.
It's not fair. But I mean, that's what's so wild to me is we've just kind of accepted that life isn't fair in a lot of ways and have turned our back on trying to fix it. And I just mean more like in terms of policy or elected officials, right? Like, people are like, oh, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. There isn't this, okay, how do we help people lift themselves up by their bootstraps? It's not, and we're okay with, CEOs at insurance companies making $10 million a year while they deny people care.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like we're just so screwed up in so many ways.
Yeah. And so and this will be a different topic for sure, because I 100% agree with you. And I think that along the way, little things happen, but the same people that don't do anything about that got Roe v. Wade overturned. So those people are focusing on the things that they believe in.
True.
And they're just, for us, for you and me, it's not the right thing, but to them, it is. And that's how do you can't fix that because who's right? I mean, I believe we're right, obviously.
Well, it's just when you even look at, I mean, that's where it's like, quote unquote, unfair, right? I mean, you have, I think I was reading in Florida, for example, 70% of people support a woman's right to choose. And yet, like, we're under minority rule. Like,
Yeah.
this is where the population and the popular opinion are completely being overwhelmed because people are willing to cheat and lie and redistrict and redraw maps and not, yeah, like, and they just don't give a fuck.
Right.
That's the scary part. Like, that is to me a very scary world that we're living in. And
Agreed.
yeah, maybe it's just not fair. Like, we've all seen plenty of countries where they were third world and we see shit and we're like, there's another third world. And it's like, we're just watching it from within now.
Mm-hmm. And it may and not it isn't just that it's not fair, right? I mean, it's messed up and a million other words that we could be using, right? For sure. And I, my struggle is there may not be a solution.
Yeah, I don't think there is a solution. I mean, if you're just looking at the overarching idea of life being not fair, it's never going to be totally fair. That's just not going to happen, right? For a myriad of reasons. I mean, it's just never going to happen. I think the question is, how do we as individuals continue to do what's right and fair within our own worlds? And hopefully you get enough people making those right decisions and having a moral compass that it starts to equalize.